Welcome to Living in Beauty. It's Thursday, January 5th, 2017, and here we are in Chassahowitzka, Florida. The locals say the pronunciation is Chassahowitzka, even though it looks like Chassahowitzka. But if you've lived here very long, you just say, I live in Chass. For voiceovers, these Aboriginal names can be a lot of fun. Like, try saying, Happy Apalachicola Christmas 5 times real fast. Speaking of Apalachicola, I'd like to talk about the last campground we stayed, Ho-Hum RV Park, located in Old Florida, the real Florida, the Florida you never knew. This fetching string of fishing villages adorning Florida's forgotten coastline along Highway 98. Our friends, Larry and Jackie Cook, recommended we drive past several lovely, new, upscale, resort-style RV parks, boasting perfectly level rows of angled pull-through concrete decks surrounded by manicured green screens and luxury amenities with stunning views of Carrabelle Beach. From across the highway. Very nice, but no thank you. We fancy something without Highway 98 between us and the Gulf of Mexico, and we prefer a large site where we can sprawl out, rinse off our kayaks, hang wetsuits and towels on the clothesline in the truck, and brew tea in the sun. We stayed at Ho-Hum for 2 weeks over Christmas week and New Year in the Tier B Beach View section. More accurately, it's a Gulf view, since this natural shoreline has no significant beach. We paid $228 per week, about $32.50 per day. That's cheaper than the resorts. And we had easy launching and minimal surf. Bingo! Every campsite here is near the water, so Ho-Hum is a fishing and kayaking wonderland. We paddled along the coastline and to the barrier islands, Bird Island and Dog Island. When we arrived to Ho-Hum, we'd been driving from Pensacola all day in the rain, and it was getting late. But even in the dark, we couldn't miss the big, yawning Ho-Hum RV Park sign. I grew up in Florida, and the popcorn sound of driving on oyster shells triggered a flood of happy childhood memories of Dad towing our boat into the marina. In Franklin County, oyster shells are still the usual pavement for roadside shops, driveways, and even state park hiking trails. So I'll save those strappy designer sandals for Miami. Ho-Hum RV Park also uses an abundance of pea gravel to demarc each generous space, and the friendly campground hosts coordinate to keep the modest 48-space grounds clean and raked as neatly as a Zen meditation garden. Full hookups were provided on our comfy inn space, where a conference of 4 tall pines made me wonder why we still don't have a hammock. This 18 years old and above community of full-timers, part-timers, and weekend regulars contribute to the balmy, ho-hum, no bad vibes atmosphere. And it's not just an image they project. It's a right they protect. Stress is actively discouraged. Residents will sometimes lift a languid hand and deliver the ho-hum salutation. Ho-hum is code for don't stress. Now, we prefer to use our own shower in our Airstream trailer, but when other first-time campers gave glowing reviews of the shower facilities, well, we had to investigate. They were clean, beautiful, and pristine, effortlessly maintained in the unusual ho-hum way. Like nearly every RV park, the coin laundry at Ho-Hum leaves much to be desired. We prefer to wash in our little portable washer and hang out to dry. But with limited winter sunlight and increased humidity, we've lately been forced to use the dryers. Hey, it's Florida, and we're on the water, so rusty machines are to be expected. But to dry a small load of mostly quick-dry fabrics, it took 3 20-minute cycles at $1.50 each. Ho-hum! Ho-Hum's shoreline is absent of any significant area for beach recreation or long strolls, and at high tide, there's no beach at all. But there are several places on the grounds to hang out and de-stress. The fishing pier, the outdoor tiki lounge, and the swings near the water. And the thoughtful Ho-Hum staff made us feel welcome. Pet-friendly stations with bags are provided, and guests were mostly vigilant about picking up after their dogs. Management received packages for us at the office, an important service for full-timers like us, especially at Christmas. Another important feature for full-time travelers is Wi-Fi. Connectivity is a fundamental reason full-timing is trending. Ho-Hum provides better than many parks. The frequent lapses during high traffic hours weren't too bad, and we were told that plans are in the works to repair that lapse. There is no camp store at Ho-Hum, and the closest store, the IGA at Carrabelle, is a 3-mile drive. I say drive because after hours of boots-on-the-ground field exploration using Google Maps and Google Earth, we can vouch that no known safe bicycle access exists between Ho-Hum and Carrabelle. If we'd found it, we would have provided a map. It is not recommended to cycle even a short distance on this stretch of Highway 98. There are no pedestrian or cycling paths or even a decent shoulder. If it weren't for a nasty roadkill and trash-strewn half-mile walk south to the cute market and marina at Lanark Village, we would have walked there every day. But about 100 yards south, we crossed the highway where there is no pedestrian crosswalk into the Lanark Village neighborhood, which was pleasant enough for cycling the residential area. For fitness walking and cycling, we had to get in the beast and go for a drive. About 8 miles west is Tate's Hell, named for a pitiful soul whom the woods chewed up and spat out, sparing him only a remnant of breath so he could declare, "My name is Sebe Tate, and I just came through hell," before he collapsed dead on the spot. Okay. So you try not to think about that and just appreciate the natural tropical landscape, admire the well-maintained and marked state park trails, which are clearly signed and right off the highway. Picnic tables are on most of the loops, but it is a bare area, so we chose to hike without food. Most hikers we encountered were with unleashed dogs, and some were better at controlling them than others. We didn't sense any danger, but pepper spray is always a comfort. Fish markets are close by, and we took advantage of the local catches: oyster, shrimp, grouper, oysters mostly. Many businesses closed for the holidays, but a few restaurants we'd like to recommend are Lynn's Quality Oysters for the steamed poppers with fresh-cut jalapeno and finished with a dollop of cream cheese. Dad couldn't have been more pleased with the shrimp tacos at Tropical Traders. And Jim and I especially enjoyed our grits and eggs breakfast several times at MZ's Cafe, where our special request for basted eggs was greeted with a smile and perfectly executed with a no-problem attitude. There's plenty of room to move here in Franklin County, where the land still has a sense of frontier to it. On the 20 to 30-mile trips to Panacea, Lanark, Carrabelle, Apalachicola, and St. George Island, we would often encounter fellow ho-hummers at restaurants or at the fabulous Oyster City Brewing Company, and even while walking a long stretch of warm and sunny deserted beach. I write this review as we depart Ho-Hum. We thought about staying longer, possibly till spring. Packing is an effort when you don't want to leave, when you're so relaxed and pleased with all you've seen and done, and still so much remaining to be discovered. But we can always come back. We promised ourselves to see as much of Florida as possible. So off we went. Thank you so much for joining us at Living in Beauty. Special thanks this week goes to Chris at Otterwax. When we were in Tahoe, we met Chris's mom, a fellow Airstreamer, and she gave us a sample of the Otterwax mosquito repellent. Well, I can't use anything other than this insect repellent. And Chris is shipping this great stuff pronto. Thanks, Chris. Don't know what I'd do in Florida without my Otterwax mosquito repellent. Okay, that's it. Have a great week.